Hi there, this is John Frenay, and welcome to an Encore presentation of our Legacy Business Spotlight. These are best done in person, and with the current state of emergency restrictions, that's just not possible. So we will be re-releasing our past episodes every Saturday at noon until this pandemic is in our collective rearview mirror. Until then, enjoy this Encore presentation of our Legacy Business Spotlight.
Some businesses succeed, some don't. Then there are those that seem to have been around forever. The true entrepreneurial success story. How did they do it? What was their vision? What makes a success? In this special episode for Eye on Annapolis, we speak with the true success stories, those business owners that have been around for decades. Learn from their successes and failures. Now, here's host John Frenay.
All right, we're here at one of my favorite burger joints. We're here at Mother's Peninsula Grille up on Ritchie Highway in Arnold with Dave Rather, who is the owner of Mother's. I guess you're Mother Dave, is that true?
I am Mother Dave, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, I've been hunting you down for about a year now to talk about this, and I know finally we did it. You're the only one that's more elusive than you is Lou and Alan Hyatt at Hyatt Commercial Realty. But I'm glad to get the chance to sit down and talk about Mother's Grill.
Me too.
It's a great place. I mean, I enjoy brunches here. I enjoy lunches here. I haven't been here too much for dinner, and I'm getting too old for that late night stuff, but I know it's a happening spot. Yeah. And you are in a business that is definitely challenging in the restaurant business to start with, but I would say I don't know what the classification of your restaurant is, but it's the sort of fast casual or something.
Well, it's probably more like family casual. Fast casual is probably more of like your grab and go places, but you know, I've considered us an upscale sports bar. You know,
okay.
Probably,
well, that was one of my questions: is do you consider yourself a sports bar?
I mean, yeah, you know, yes and no, because sports bar can be just like a dumbed down menu, but we take a lot of pride in our food. Well,
you should.
We do. We have like over 80 items on our menu, and we make almost everything in house from scratch. So we're making our own homemade ice cream. We make our own salad dressings. We cut our own boardwalk-style fries. We make our own soups. So, we're not buying hardly anything that's pre-made. And that's not typical for a sports bar. So we try to stride the line between a really good restaurant and a really fun bar. And
hit the price point.
And hit the point that people can come to a couple times a week. That, isn't fine dining. We're a little more expensive than just going to, grab carry out somewhere. But, we appeal to a customer base that appreciates quality. We put a lot of love and high-end ingredients into our products.
Fair enough. Well, how did it all start? How did Mother's all start? Now, I know Mother's Peninsula Grill here in Arnold was not your first. This was like the Texas Roadhouse or something or other.
It was Griffin's. And before that,
right.
It was Texas Roadhouse. And before that, it was the famous Oxbow that people reminisce about. And so there's been a restaurant in this place for 60-plus years or so. We've been here for about 7 years. We just had our 7-year anniversary, which goes real quick.
And you're celebrating 20 for Mother's.
22 at Mother's. 22. So we just celebrated 22. So we started on New Year's Eve in 1997, and I opened the place with my brother Adam, that was the chef at the time. And Federal Hill has grown a lot, and in the 22 years that we've been there, when we first started, there was about 3 or 4 other bars and restaurants. Now there's like 20. It's changed a lot, but we've also expanded 2 different times there. We expanded upstairs and into the back of our building and built a new bar and catering space. So we have like a upstairs private room and a private room in the back, and we're like over 10,000 square feet. So we can hold as many as 500 people inside, and then we do our purple patio parties, which can hold quite a few people out in the parking lot.
Was your background in hospitality and restaurants?
Well, I started basically I was kind of throwing parties, and I started like a social club.
This sounds like a great story.
I would take people down to New Orleans for Jazz Fest. I bring bands up here for New Year's Eve and Halloween and things like that. And it had some success, and people were asking for, where can we see you every day? And so I thought, well, maybe I need to take this into like a bar or restaurant. So I got a job, my first job in the industry managing a friend of mine's little place down on Fort Avenue in Federal Hill. And it was a small little mom and pop, but it gave me the opportunity to just learn. And while I was there, I heard about, Muley's Bakery was for sale, and I was able to work out a deal with the owner to come in and kind of take it over and get a liquor license for it and renovate it. And while I was in the renovation process, I didn't really have much money, as young people, typically don't. And I was struggling to finance these renovations. Well, my contractor filed bankruptcy in the middle of the renovation, and he had purchased equipment and stuff for us that he was trying to hold hostage. And luckily I didn't get burnt too bad, and I was able to scrape the pennies together to get it open, and it was packed from day one. So it's been a blessing in Federal Hill, and extremely successful. And we've had a good team, and my brother and my partner Mark were key in helping run the place. My wife Kelly, she's running it and is the catering manager. So it's a family affair.
You talked about taking people to Jazz Fest in New Orleans and whatnot. I actually just got back from there last weekend. But I know you're a Saints fan as I am. What's your fascination with New Orleans? Where's your connection there?
I love music, and I got turned on to New Orleans music by a good friend of mine. And I've been going to Jazz Fest for 26 straight years.
It's a pretty good lineup this year.
It's a good lineup every year, and I just love New Orleans. I love the food, the music, the vibe, the people. It's like nowhere in the country, and it's just a special place. And I go a couple times a year. I have Saints season tickets. I bring New Orleans bands up here, to Federal Hill, and I have Eric Lindell and John Grow coming soon, and so I just give them a place to stop on the way to New York and DC and the bigger markets where they can get some good food and get some home cooking. And so I'm friends with a lot of the New Orleans artists, and it's just a passion of mine. New Orleans music is a good passion, and
can't disagree with you at all.
When they have Mardi Gras is a lot of fun, and during Mardi Gras there's a party called Mom's Ball, and it's one of the most decadent parties. If you don't wear a costume, you can't get in. They literally won't let you in. And it's a pretty crazy, intense party. And, I went to this party and my mind was blown, and I'm like, I got to bring some of this back to Baltimore. And so that's kind of where the name came from, was Mom's Ball in New Orleans. There's a Mother's Restaurant in New Orleans, but that's kind of more of a diner. This is a once a year party that happens. It's a lot of fun.
Neat.
So,
but you've also got a place up in Timonium.
Yes.
Now, was that your number 2 place, or that
That was the third.
Okay.
So that's coming up on 4 years.
Okay, so you came down here into Arnold.
Yeah.
And what brought you down into Arnold?
Well, I lived in Pasadena, and, there wasn't a lot of places to eat once my kids were done sporting events. And, I noticed, that this location was available, and I was looking to buy the property as well as a restaurant. And I was just lucky enough to find this that was in a good neighborhood, right on a busy road, that was a former restaurant that was kind of going out of business.
Well, it makes sense to own the land, too. That way you don't have a jerk of a landlord. You had mentioned your menu, and you've got 80 different items. And I will say the menu is very extensive. It does take we usually send our server back 3 or 4 times, more time, please. I mean, why did you feel the need to have such an extensive menu?
It's a good question, and something that we've tried.
So my chef is cursing me.
We've tried to dumb it down or cut it down for years, and everything sells. And people have their favorites, and we do a lot of cross uses where one item will make 3 or 4 different items on the menu. So we try not to have things on the menu that we only bring in for one item on the menu. So most everything is used in multiple ways. So we could cut it back a little bit, but since everything sells, we kind of have kept it there. And, the worst selling items are our vegetarian items, but then people are always asking for more vegetarian. So you kind of have to have them there. But other than that, everything sells pretty consistently.
Are you the one that's doing the menu?
Well, it's
a team effort.
We kind of do everything as a team effort. It's a collaboration between the kitchen and the managers and me, and figuring out what we need or just new things that have maybe been successful on the specials list that should go on the menu permanently.
And then, are the menus the same? And I've not been to Timonium. I've been
very close. We do a few more seafood items here in Arnold because we're on the water down here. It's a waterfront community, and so people really love seafood, and we're really trying to push that.
A little heavier there.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that you guys are really well known for is your nightlife and your party. And it is a party when you come to Mother's. I mean, I know you've got the deck parties in the spring and the summer, and I'm sure at this point we're in the middle of winter right now, which isn't really a winter, but I mean, you're anxious for...
Well, we always like to do nightlife and entertainment. We have Joey Harcum playing here on Wednesdays from Pasadena, and we, celebrate all the holidays. Mardi Gras, we have a, Naptown Brass Band playing and for Mardi Gras, and, we'll have a St. Patrick's Day party. And, anytime there's a holiday, we want to be doing something fun. And we just want, to have a place that people can come to, after the dinner hour and have, some beers. We have like 100 beers on our beer menu. So we have a lot of beers, a lot of craft beers. We do really good crushes. And we have a pretty extensive, liquor list. So, we got a lot to offer.
I know that, and you do also do the pajama party twice a year.
Yes,
which is the pajama brunch.
The pajama brunch is something we started 22 years ago in Federal Hill, and we do it at all of our locations, and it's really popular here. People are literally waiting in line a half an hour before we open to come in for pajama
outside
brunch.
In their pajamas.
Outside in their pajamas.
Because that's a requirement.
Yeah, you get 50% off if you wear your pajamas. So obviously people want to get that discount, and they like dressing up. It's just something fun to do. A lot of people, create a drinking day out of it and get everything for half price, and it's just a fun, way to break up the monotony.
And I got to talk also about your artwork here. And we actually spoke with Joe Barson. Actually, in here we did a thing, but Joe Barson did your artwork over your bar.
Yeah.
And did he do any of the other ones?
No, just here. Each place kind of has its own identity a little bit. And obviously he's a local artist, and we have some pretty big walls, and we wanted to fill some stuff, and I saw his work and thought it could fit. And we got some big walls that needed really big prints and canvases, and so he was able to custom make them to fill our walls. And then we sell some of his stuff for him too, so that's been a little good relationship. And we sell some of the smaller canvases.
Do you ever regret getting in the restaurant business?
No, I mean, it's stressful. I mean, I have over 220 employees. It's 7 days a week. There's, it's never ending. The work's never ending. You never really have a down. Even when I'm on vacation, I'm still working. And, so that is difficult, but it's been a blessing. It's been my calling. We've been pretty successful at it, knock on wood, and have made a good living. And it's given us opportunity to help a lot of people. Some of the cool things is just the relationships from staff members and team members that worked with us for years and have gone to open their own restaurants or gone on to do cool things. And we've created a lot of relationships. At least 10 or so couples have gotten married from meeting at Mother's and now have babies and stuff. And that's a cool thing. So. I don't regret it. I mean, some days I wish, I was maybe doing something else, but it's been a blessing. It's been successful. We've been fortunate, and I feel like this is what I was kind of meant to do.
Well, you said your wife does the catering, and I mean, I imagine now, when it is a family affair, when you do have, your wife buying in on it, it's got to make it a lot easier than
sometimes. It's easier because, there's, when you're managing a location with 75 employees and a lot of moving parts, you got to be strong. You got to be a strong manager and a strong leader. And so there's not a ton of people that can handle that. And she's been in the business since she was about 12 years old, working for her grandmother. Her grandmother owned a restaurant over where the Mutiny used to be on the water over there in like B&A Boulevard. And, I'm forgetting the name of it now, but she was, working there since she was 12 years old. So she's been in lifetime in the business. She's really good at it, and she does a great job. And now my son Terry is, managing the Federal Hill location. He's 26 and really taken a liking to it. It seems like it's his calling, and, he's kind of going to be the future of Mother's and take it over one day. And I've got a couple younger kids that are probably going to come in and be involved as they get older. So
that was going to be my next question: is what about the kids? Are they looking? Are they into it? And obviously they've got a little bit of. Well, one has a little bit of the bite already.
Yeah, I have 4 kids. One's working full time. One just became an English teacher at Old Mill High School, and we're really proud of her.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so her name's Georgia, but she's also a server and helps out in Federal Hill. And then my other son is Dave. He's 16. He's going to get his driver's license today, so that's a big deal. And he actually applied at a bunch of other places to work, like food service places, just to kind of maybe do something different and kind of spread his wings, which we, all of in support of. And then I've got one more son that's 13. His name's Adam, and he already thinks he runs Mother's, and he'll work in the locations, and he's got a lot of personality, and so the customers really like him, and he hopes to come into the business in the future.
That's great. And what is the future for Mother's? I mean, you've got three. You've grown from
three.
1 to 3.
19 was a transition year for us. I lost my long-term partner, Mark Boyd, to cancer.
Oh, sorry.
So that's been difficult. And my brother retired, so my two partners have moved on. Luckily we have a good team. We're able to carry things on. We are looking at a fourth location. We're looking in Annapolis, and we're looking in Howard County and in Towson.
Would Annapolis peel away business from here, you think? Or
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think people are driving from downtown Annapolis to come up here. Now, occasionally, like Naval Academy kids, like during graduation weekend when it's crazy downtown, will be up here and with their families and stuff like that. But, I mean, it's close, but I think it's two totally separate markets that, we could appeal to different demographics, but also just different neighborhoods. So I feel like it could work. Let's face it, if you're in downtown Annapolis, you've got all the boat shows and the Naval Academy and, everything that's going on down there. And it's just a destination that people go to bar hop. Baltimore City is experiencing some problems with crime, and business is down for everybody in Baltimore City. So I was just kind of looking at big cities outside of Baltimore that people are going to go to get their entertainment, and Annapolis and Towson are probably the two biggest.
So I mean, it doesn't sound like you're gung-ho, like we must have a place in Annapolis in the next couple. I mean, are you waiting just for
it's the right place, the right location, the right deal. We're not in a rush to do anything. We don't really have to do another one, but I have some young key staff members that would like to grow into a partnership position, and we just feel like there's certain segments that have some good opportunities, and if the opportunity presents itself, then we're looking to make the jump. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, we're not we don't have to do it, but kind of it's really exciting to open a new place, and it really it's something that I really love to do, and it's a lot of work, but it's just a lot of satisfaction. We can take something from the ground up and make it successful, and it's just a challenge, and because just running a restaurant every day can get monotonous, 7 days a week, kind of the same thing all the time. So, that's a good way for us to make it more interesting and add more work to our plate by, taking on another challenge. But it's a big challenge, and so it feels really good when you are able to complete it.
Great. What's your on your menu? What's your favorite thing? Or is that like asking which is your favorite kid?
It's tough. I mean, we're putting a new bacon appetizer on the menu, with like a maple syrup and like jalapenos and orange slices. And I really love bacon, so I think that'll be good. I like the fresh fish. I think that's a highlight of our menu. I like the wings, and I like there's an appetizer we got that's a steak crostini that I like a lot, and I get pretty often. I like our charred black pepper tuna salad, which is really good. So
that crostini is good. I had that one time.
Yeah. So we've done pretty well. Adam Kurnow is our current chef, and he's managing the North and the Arnold locations, and he does a great job of changing up the specials and coming up with new ideas for a new menu.
Anything that would surprise anybody that doesn't know about Mother's that they should know about? Other than you should come and try it. I mean, you're right here on Ritchie Highway, northbound, just not too far off of the community college.
Yeah, right off of College Parkway. Right on the borderline of Severna Park and Arnold. I'd be surprised with things that people don't know about us, but I think they just know that we take a lot of pride in our food. We make almost everything from scratch, and our menu is really strong, and the quality is really good. And then we really pride ourselves on good service as well. So 100 beers on the menu, fresh fruit crushes, good service, great menu. We think we're covering all the bases. And then once once dinner hour's over, we have DJs and karaoke, trivia night, live music to keep people having fun and into the wee hours.
Well, it seems like you've found the recipe. Obviously, we've got some success in Baltimore, going on 22 years. You got 4 years up in Timonium and 7 years here in Arnold with Mother's Peninsula Grille. And they all have different names, right? You've got Mother's Federal Hill, Mother's Peninsula Grill, and what's the Timonium?
Mother's North.
Mother's North.
Yeah, so, they all have their own identities, but, we try to just make it a place you can feel at home, make it comfortable. We want people coming back a couple times a week. And so we want to be the place where people know your name, like Cheers, and know your drink, and you want to come in a couple days a week, and the staff becomes like friends. So, that's important to us, and we love our team members, and we love our regulars. And life can be difficult, and there's always stresses and stuff that goes on that brings us down, and people like to go to their local restaurant or watering hole to just forget about their problems, have somebody cook food for them, and just have some fun. And that's what we like being.
And that sort of ties into the signature on your emails that we get from you. It says just Funkify Your Life.
Yeah. Well, Funkify Your Life is a song written by the Meters, which is a New Orleans legendary band that I'm extremely fond of. And George Porter, who sings it, played at my wedding. The Meters are like the kings of New Orleans funk. And so they're like my favorite New Orleans band. And they wrote a lot of music in the 60s that is still sampled and played today. And so they're pretty legendary musicians. So that's how I sign off my emails.
Not a bad motto at all. Well, everybody, get to Mother's. Whether you're up north and you want to go into the one up in Timonium.
Yeah, we're on Padonia Road, right off of 83, and right off of York Road in Timonium. And in Federal Hill, we're right on Charles Street, right next to Cross Street Market, walking distance to both stadiums.
Yep. And then you've got Arnold right here on northbound Ritchie Highway, just past the community college, just off of College Parkway. Check out their calendar of events. They're always having something going on.
Tuesday nights, we have trivia, and that starts at 8 p.m., and that's a lot of fun. We have a full house for that. And then Wednesday nights, we typically have local musicians playing. Joey Harcum is on a residency now on Wednesdays. On Thursdays, we have a karaoke night that starts at 8:30, and that's a lot of fun, and get your singing on. And then Friday and Saturday, we'll have DJs or live bands, depending on what's going on. So, we try to have something every day of the week just to have fun.
And cover charges, no.
It's free. It's they're all free. Karaoke, trivia, and the bands. We typically don't charge a cover.
You guys going to be back at Eastport Rockin' with those yummy crushes again?
Yeah, the Eastport Rockin's been great. That's been a lot of fun. I love Eastport, and I love that festival. Great music. It seems like it's always a beautiful day down there, and we sell a lot of crushes. So that's been pretty cool.
They are good crushes.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, all them aside, because I'm an old guy, the food is spot on. You do have a great menu. I do appreciate the burgers because you do have a huge burger menu, which is in addition, and that's a basic pub food. It's not.
We sell a lot of burgers. I mean, we've got like 15 on the menu. We've added the Beyond Burger and turkey
have you ever
burgers.
Had one of those?
I haven't, but I'm like anti-vegetarian.
I just haven't worked up the nerves.
So
to try
people
one
like them, and so we got turkey burgers, and then we got obviously the beef, and we hand pack the burger meat ourselves with spices, and so that they're made from scratch as well, and we have a lot of creative ones. We have a Heart Attack on a Plate, which got picked to be on the Today Show, and the Food Channel put it as the top burger in Maryland.
All right, explain that out.
So Heart Attack on a Plate is it's a beef burger that's got cheddar cheese stuffed inside, and then it's deep fried in beer batter. So it's kind of decadent and it's really tasty. And, we were lucky enough to be on TV to make it, and it got put on the Food Channel, and it's got us a little notoriety as like a top burger in Maryland. So,
Heart attack on a plate.
Heart attack on a plate.
I don't know if I'm brave enough for that.
Yeah, I like it as an appetizer and split it, so you're not like eating the whole thing. But sometimes, like little 20-somethings in Federal Hill coming in for Sunday brunch, eat a whole one by themselves because they're hungover and it's a good hangover cure. So people love those things. We've had one guy eat like 2 or 3 of them. So
that's great. Dave Rather, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations on the growth. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next for Mother's number 4. We'll see where that goes.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to this special podcast for Annapolis. Please be sure to visit Annapolis.net for all your local news, events, and opinions. And in case you haven't already, please subscribe to the Annapolis Daily News Brief, where we bring you your local news direct to your phone or tablet every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Subscribe on iTunes or Google Play.